Hi everyone. A very good morning to all. Myself Naveen Kumar, lecturer, Department of Chemistry. Today we'll try to discuss the introduction for the subject chemistry. So with respect to first PUC weightage from all the units, we'll try to discuss, and we'll start with the first unit. We'll see a small introduction for the unit by considering the syllabus overview. Now, with respect to first PUC, we have 14 units in the subject chemistry. So these 14 units have been divided into 3 branches. So why the branch information is very important? Because so with respect to question paper pattern, so especially in the long questions, we'll be having the questions asked only from the respective branches. So hence we need to know what are all the units coming under the respective branches. So in the first slide, what I am discussing here, so it is with respect to physical chemistry branch. So this is with respect to physical chemistry. So the numerical problems, the theory, the principle oriented topics we are going to learn here. So numerical section, so that is the problem oriented questions, so will appear only from these 5 units of physical chemistry. Now here, whatever the unit number is mentioned, so it is according to the syllabus order. So the 14 units, what it is prescribed by the NCERT to follow. So the first unit, the second unit, fifth unit, sixth unit, and the seventh unit. So these are the units in the order. So we have as physical chemistry units. The first unit is some basic concepts of chemistry. So in the present class, we are going to start with this unit, a very important unit. So we are going to learn few fundamental concepts related to the subject chemistry. What are all the fundamental particles building a matter? That is starting from the concept of atom, molecules, elements, then how the properties are measured with respect to physical quantities, and the concept of mole, the amount of substance. So how the mass of the substance is measured with simple calculation aspect, we are going to complete the unit. So this unit is having teaching hours of 9 hours. The unit is having 9 hours of teaching with a weightage of 8 marks. So 8 marks will be considered for the final exam paper. Next, the second physical chemistry unit is unit 2, structure of atom. We are going to learn in detail about the subatomic particles, that is protons, neutrons, and electron concept, the discovery of these subatomic particles, and the models explaining the structure of atom. That is starting from the J.J. Thomson's plum pudding model. So we are going to discuss with Rutherford's atomic model, Bohr's atomic model, then the Planck's quantum theory, Einstein's photoelectric effect. Then so we are going to learn with the final model to learn the structure of atom. So from the quantum mechanical model, it is with the help of the quantum numbers. So how the electronic configuration is written, every such information we are going to learn in this second unit, structure of atom. Again, a very fundamental unit. So as per the physical chemistry as well as overall the subject chemistry is concerned. So next, unit 5. So unit 3 according to the physical chemistry order. Unit 5 from NCERT syllabus order. It is the states of matter. So everyone knows the information. So about the physical classification of matter as solids, liquids, and gases. In detail about the gaseous physical phase and the liquid physical phase, we are going to learn in the unit states of matter. The continuation of this unit as a solid state in detail, we are going to learn in the second PUC syllabus. Again, this is a very good weightage unit. So if we see the weightage of the second unit, atomic structure, It is having 10 hours of teaching, 9 marks for the final exam. And the states of matter is having 9 hours of teaching and 8 marks for the final exam. Next, 2 units, a very important unit again related to the chemistry principles. Uh, we are going to learn with respect to chemistry the two aspects, the main two aspects. One is the spontaneous factor. So whether chemical reactions occur on its own or not, so that is a criteria of spontaneity that we are going to conclude from thermodynamic aspect. Whereas another equally important aspect is the speed of the chemical reactions, speed or the rate or the velocity of a chemical reaction, how the chemical reaction takes place, what is the speed in which it occurs, whether it is a single step reaction or a multi-step reaction. So all those factors affecting on all we are going to discuss under chemical kinetics, that will be in the second PUC syllabus. Now thermodynamics is the major criteria to understand whether a chemical reaction can occur on its own or not. So that conclusion we are going to learn in the thermodynamics, which is with 11 hours of teaching and having 10 marks for your final exam. The last unit of physical chemistry, it is equilibrium. So here we are going to understand the chemical equilibrium principles. That is, once a concentration of reactant, if it is increased, how the reaction will proceed, or if the concentration of product is increased, how the reaction direction will change. Then how temperature, pressure, catalyst, all these will affect the chemical reaction, and the concept of acids and bases. So what is an acid and what is a base from various theories of acid bases. Then the principles taking place in the solution, that is with respect to dissociation aspect. So once a compound, ionic compound is added, it dissociates as ions in the solutions. All these aspects we are going to learn in equilibrium in detail. So which is the major weightage physical chemistry unit. So 13 hours of teaching and 12 marks for the final exam. So if you consider all these 5 units, so the overall weightage from the physical chemistry branch is that, so it is having 52 hours of teaching. So with a maximum marks of 47 marks. So it includes the choices also. So our final exam paper of chemistry is having 105 marks paper. Maximum marks in that to secure is 70 mark. So that we'll try to discuss with the question paper pattern later. So once unit is completed. Now we'll move on to the next branch. Now this is with respect to inorganic chemistry. Now again we have 6 units coming under inorganic chemistry with a overall weightage of 35 marks from the branch with 41 hours of teaching. So as per NCERT syllabus order, unit 3 is the first inorganic chemistry unit, classification of elements and periodicity in properties. That is how the elements are classified. So with the modern periodic table view and its generalization in the characteristic of properties, we are going to learn this unit. So which is with 5 hours of teaching and 4 marks weightage for the final exam. Next, unit 4. So from the NCERT syllabus order, which is chemical bonding and molecular structure. We are going to learn how a chemical bond is formed, what are the types of chemical bonds. So what are the theories explaining the formation of a chemical bond in detail we are going to learn. So which answers majority of the questions about a compound or a molecule. So about its structure aspect, the bond length, the bond angle, the magnetic properties, so its dipole moment properties, all such informations we are going to learn here, including its geometrical shapes. So which is with 12 hours of teaching. So maximum mark in the inorganic chemistry branch, it is 11 marks. Next, unit 8, so which is redox reactions. So here we are going to understand what is oxidation, what is reduction, what are the types of redox reactions, then how to balance a chemical equation. So by learning two important methods, one is half cell method and another one oxidation number method. So with the help of two types of method, we are going to learn how to balance a chemical equation, so which is very important for chemical equations to balance. So that we are going to learn in detail. 5 hours of teaching with 4 marks for final exam weightage. Next, as an important element, hydrogen. So we are going to have the unit. So with the 4 hours of teaching, 3 marks for the final exam. And we are going to learn in detail with the two block elements. So S block elements completely, that is alkali metals and alkaline earth metals, first group and second group metals. We are going to learn with 7 hours of teaching, 6 marks for the final exam. Then P blocks, we are going to learn only the two groups, that is group 13, group 14, boron family and carbon family elements we are going to discuss here with 8 hours of teaching and 7 marks for the final exam. So overall, if we take, so the branch is having 41 hours of teaching with 35 marks for the final exam, including choices. So we'll move to the last branch. It is organic chemistry. So we have less weightage for organic chemistry in the first PUC, so which is going to be the major weightage branch in the second PUC syllabus. So the fundamentals, what you're going to learn here, so without that you cannot able to understand the organic chemistry branch. So what you're going to learn in second PUC, and focus that. So we have two simple organic chemistry unit and one supportive unit, so which is as environmental chemistry we have. The first unit, as per NCERT syllabus, it is unit 12, some basic principles and techniques. So here we are going to learn what are organic compounds, how are they classified, how to represent the structure of organic compound, how to name the organic compounds with IUPAC nomenclature system, then how to purify the organic compounds, and what are the techniques involved in the displacement of electrons to learn the organic chemistry reactions. So what are all those types? So with simple analysis view, a chemical analysis technique of qualitative and quantitative methods, we are going to learn under organic chemistry introduction unit. So with 12 hours of teaching, 11 marks for the final exam. The continuation of that with hydrocarbons, that is, we are going to learn about alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, and about the aromatic hydrocarbons. So it is benzene. So these four compounds, the class of compounds, we are going to learn under hydrocarbons with 12 hours of teaching, 10 marks for final exam. As a concern with environment, the chemical principles, so the role of various chemicals, so especially with respect to environmental concern, that is, what are the layers of atmosphere, so what are the gases present in various layers, so what are all the pollutants present, how to treat them. So especially we are discussing soil pollution, water pollution and air pollution, so under this branch, so which will be very helpful as a chemist to understand our environment, so which is with 3 hours of teaching and 2 marks for the final exam. So overall, with the 27 hours of teaching, 23 marks for the final exam from the branch. So if you sum up all the three branches, so it is having 120 hours of teaching, the overall syllabus teaching, and the maximum marks will be from the question paper set, it is 105. So you need to score a maximum in that 70 marks. That means if you come with the question paper pattern, if you observe, so you have 70 marks for your theory exam, what you are going to attend, and 30 marks is your practicals. So your practical weightage is 30 marks. The syllabus of practical with 30 mark weightage pattern and all will try to discuss later in the coming classes. So what I have discussed today, so is for this 70 mark of theory examination. So where the paper is set for 105 marks, where you need to score a maximum of 70 in that. So the 70 mark preparation, that is 70% preparation of the syllabus as board exam, theory exam pattern. So we'll try to focus first. Remaining 30 marks will be your practical examination. So where 20 marks you are going to perform, 4 marks is for Viva, 20 marks is your experiments, what you are going to perform. Then remaining 6 mark will be the practical record, what you are going to have it for the classes. So record will be 6 mark, Viva part is for 4 mark, together it is 10. So remaining 20 marks is your experimental part, what you are going to perform to learn the basic chemistry experiments with respect to syllabus. So based on that, you have 2 experiments to perform. So that will carry 10 each, overall 20 marks. So this is what your pattern of syllabus and the question paper, 70 plus 30 weightage. So finally, so including practical marks, for 100 marks, the subject marks will be evaluated. The pattern is same for your second PUC also. Now, with respect to my chemistry subject classes, so I prefer you to follow a running note. So you keep a separate notebook. So whatever the branches we are going to discuss, you can write in that. So you can keep a 200 pages notebook for maintaining the running notes. So running notes is that what you need to follow in the class. So first listen to the class, understand the concepts. Whatever you are getting understood, so with the concepts explained, try to make a key notes. For that, the points explained in the slide will be helpful. So the required syllabus source as NCERT textbook and the question bank, so which is required for your preparation, I will be sending through the class, so you can go through with that. So the first information is that when you are attending the classes, so you try to follow a running notes. Just observe first, don't write simultaneously. After your understanding, you make a key notes points for that, which will be really helpful for you to follow the subject. Then the second what you can do is that again you keep one more 200 pages notebook to write the PU question answers. So again this material I'm going to send as PDF for you. So try to write the PU question answers for the topics explained in the class, or in the PU question bank order you try to write. It will be in 1 mark question, 2 mark question, and the 3 mark or 4 mark question as per the weightage from the respective unit. On the respective unit, what are all the weightages will be there. On that pattern, the PU board has given question answers notes, so that I am preferring for you to follow as the next material. So once you follow the class concepts, so once you learn this, so with NCERT textbook you need to complete the preparation. So there few in-text questions and exercise questions will be there. So that is not completely asked in the board exam, but it will be helpful to understand the subject matter. So that materials will be given once the unit is completed, so that you try to focus and understand to learn the subject completely. So this is how you try to focus for learning in your classes. So follow the class concepts, write in a simple running notes, and whatever the class is done on the same respective day, so try to complete your running notes. Take time, so nearly 1.5 to 2 hours time you take after the completion of the class to write the running notes, and send by evening, so what you have completed. So when chemistry class is there, take 2 hours of time after the class. So try to complete that running notes by understanding and send to me. So how to send and all will be given in the instructions. Try to follow that and maintain that notes, and don't intermix with any other subjects. So keep this particular notebook as a separate notebook to write all the chemistry running notes information. Hope these introduction points are clear to you. So with the syllabus overview, now we'll try to move with learning the basic introduction for the first unit. So as it is the beginning class, we'll start with the subject matter by taking our first unit. So in the next class, in detail, we'll try to observe. So any doubts related to this, whatever you come across, so please feel free to ask. So send a related queries. So send to my personal number. So whatever the doubts you have, so mention your name and mention the doubt. So I will try to clarify all the doubts come across with you. Fine. So we'll continue now with our first unit. So this is unit 1, some basic concepts of chemistry. So as per the PU board pattern, we have 9 hours of teaching for the unit with maximum of 8 marks. If we learn in detail weightage of the unit, so the unit contains one question for 1 mark, so which comes in the part A of final exam paper. And again, you will have one question for 2 mark, which will come in the part B of the question paper. Here the question number is also given. The 11th question, the question paper, we will have 37 questions in the paper. In that first question will be 1 mark question from this unit. 11th question will be 2 mark question from the unit, and we will have one question, so 5 marks. So 5 mark direct questions we don't have in the syllabus. It will be splitted into 4 plus 1, 3 plus 2, or 2 plus 2 plus 1. So this is how the splitting of question will be there for 5 mark. You will not have a direct 5 mark questions in the chemistry. So first PUC you have 4 plus 1 combination, but in the second PUC you have all 3 plus 2 or 2 plus 2 plus 1 combination for 5 mark question, and all the sub questions will be framed from the same unit. So if it is the 27th question, if you take from this unit, so which comes in the part D, part C is only for inorganic chemistry. As this unit is physical chemistry unit, it will come under part D. The first question is 27th question in the question paper pattern. So the 5 mark will be only from the syllabus from this unit. It will not be intermixed. Total. So it is 1 mark question 1, 2 mark question 1, 5 mark question 1. So hence you will have 8 marks for the final exam from this unit. 8 marks of maximum 70 marks refers to, so it is more than 10% weightage. So the minimum passing marks for the unit is, so it is 21 mark. So hence try to observe very clearly and understand the unit. If you focus, what are all the subject matter we have in this unit is, so we are going to learn the general introduction for the subject chemistry, and we are going to learn the importance and scope of chemistry with various fields. Then we are going to understand the matter and its classification. So both physical and chemical classification of matter we are going to learn. Then homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture will come under chemical classification of matter. So there the actual concept of elements, atoms, molecules and compounds we are going to learn. Then properties of matter, so is classified into 2 types. It is physical properties and chemical properties, and to measure that we are going to depend on the quantities. So what are the 7 fundamental quantities we are going to learn? So it is length, mass, time, luminous intensity. So whatever it is, the amount of substance, everything we are going to learn there. So we'll try to understand in detail with few derived units also, along with the 7 fundamental quantities. Then we have the laws of chemical combination. So how an element or the atoms of the elements they combine. So to explain that, we have simple laws of chemical combinations that we'll try to learn. Then by understanding all the laws, so we have a Dalton's atomic theory. So how the atom information is given with the help of simple postulates we'll try to understand. Then we'll try to learn few fundamental concepts related to the mass measurement, how the mass of an atom is measured. So what is the scale used? So what is the reference element used to measure? So all such informations we are going to learn in that. So then with simple calculation aspect, so we are going to learn the concentration measured in the solutions. So this is what we have in detail with the syllabus of the first unit. Now we'll see the basic introduction for the unit. So before ending the class, so in the next class, we'll continue with in detail. Now the basic introduction to understand. So what we are going to learn in the branch science, so it is we need to understand. So if we observe, so science can be viewed as a continuing human effort. So to systemize the knowledge for describing and understanding the nature. Now, whatever we are going to learn, so in a systematic way to acquire our knowledge is referred to as science. So it is a continuing effort of a human from the respective inception. So from the beginning of the life, so humans are curious to know about what is happening around them. So such curiosity led to the branch science, and it is subdivided into various branches like chemistry, physics, biology, geology, etc. Now, what is chemistry is? It is the branch of science which deals with the study of the composition, properties, and interaction of matter. So the composition, structure, properties, and the interactions of various types of matter is going to be the main subject matter of chemistry. Hence, we need to learn in detail about the matter to understand our branch chemistry. So we'll try to answer that by knowing the importance of chemistry in our next